All right, let's get going. Thanks everyone for joining. Today we're talking about Aurum, and you know, a lot of times when I kind of put that meeting request out or the presentation, I always say the crypto trading ecosystem or crypto ecosystem. And the reason I do that is because if I said that this was about crypto trading bots, it just wouldn't do it justice. You know what I mean? This is just so much more than crypto trading bots. And even though that's kind of their flagship and how they kind of got started building some crypto trading bots, the stuff that they're doing and where they're going and their vision, just absolute insanity. So they just had a what would it be, kind of a quarterly global event in Phuket, Thailand, just this last weekend. In fact, a lot of guys are still out in Phuket, Thailand, on the tail end of this trip. I haven't even come home. Lee, my sponsor, is there, and they rolled out a whole bunch of new stuff that people didn't even know were coming, which was pretty cool. So like um, one of the things they've been working on, and this one has been known for a little while, is they're bringing out an exchange, like their own exchange. So as it sits right now, they have crypto trading bots, and these crypto trading bots, you got to trade lots of money. They've got $50 million that they're trading currently. Um, they're trading it on Binance, on OKX. I think there's a few other ones that they're trading on. They have it a little bit diversified. It's not all in one spot. And as soon as they get their exchange up and running, their intent is they're doing all their trading on their own exchange, and that's been their plan for quite a while. That's kind of why they brought in their CEO, which I'll talk about a little bit later, and his expertise, because that is his expertise. And the other thing that they were talking about that was announced there that it's been talked about for a little while also is they're bringing out an entire banking app. And even though it's kind of available on Telegram, you can access what's called NeoBank, and that's where you can access some of the different trading bots. That's where you can access the debit card, the Visa debit card, where you can load money onto your debit card right there and then. Um, it's what they're doing now is they're actually testing it. It's in the test phase on Apple, Google Play, and App Store. So that should be rolled out. They say that it will be rolled out this year, so probably as early as next month. And the exchange is supposed to go live as early as this week. So things are really, really moving fast there. When they decided to get their crypto trading cards, they literally announced it and it was live weeks later, a couple weeks later. Like, how many platforms have you been in that say we're going to get a credit card or a debit card, and it's like 6 months later, a year later, you're still waiting and they still haven't? Because it's not easy. It's not easy to pass all the due diligence for that. But they also announced two other things that they're bringing out ATM machines. Actual ATM machines will be located. They have a plan for ramping up over time, more and more and more. I don't know which countries they're putting it in, but they're already starting down that path. And then the other thing is those actual point of sale terminals that you see at the business when you pay with your credit card and tap, they're going to have Aurum point of sale terminals. And they just announced that too. So like there's just so much going on with this company. It's just absolutely wild. And that's why I kind of say if I just said it was about crypto trading bots, it wouldn't be doing it justice, right? It's just so much more. With that introduction, I guess I'll just kind of jump into the slides here. And some of these slides are a little bit redundant, so you're going to see me just kind of jump through a couple times and skip here and skip there. So if you ever want, don't hesitate to interrupt, and we can talk about something a little bit deeper if you want. So here we are. Everyone can see that now. So Aurum. Um, So Aurum is, I won't necessarily talk about this one because really I just talked about what Aurum is. It's so much bigger than just crypto trading bots. It's a whole ecosystem. Their vision, they have it's a 10-year vision right now. They have things laid out all the way to a roadmap all the way to 2035 of just where things are going, and everything that they're bringing out. And they are an absolute, I guess unicorn would be the perfect example or a perfect term, where there isn't a company like them. There is no other company that is doing the things they're doing. They are going to be absolute world leaders if they fulfill their plans. That's for sure. And like this isn't a small company. This isn't a two, three, four people that are trying to figure out how to get to market. They have 35 plus top tier professionals, and these guys came from the biggest companies out there. The CEO came from Binance. One of the founders came from Morgan Stanley. Other people came from IBM, BitGet, OKX, Wise, and these guys weren't just peons there. They were, some of the leaders there. And the Brian Benson is the guy that's the CEO. When I started back in May of this year, and Brian Benson only came on to Aurum in April. They originally were talking to him, and he kind of came on in more of a director role to kind of help with the launch of the exchange. That was the whole plan behind it. Is we want Brian to help with the exchange, his experience. He worked for Binance. He was one of, not really the OGs, but he was he was definitely early to Binance. He worked along like CZ and all those people, the CEO forever, alongside them for years. He was in charge of Latin America. He brought the entire Binance market, the entire crypto market to Latin America. And he built basically everything there. And like this guy's super, super successful in everything he's done. And, working for Binance, one of the things he kind of said is that, it's great building this great platform for them, but I kind of want something that I have ownership of. And that's obviously he's got a deal here with Aurum where he's more than just the CEO. I'm sure he is part owner now, but and I've watched a lot of interviews with Brian, and just listening to him talk. He is not a network marketing guy. He doesn't understand network marketing. He doesn't understand anything about it. He's learning it, but his experience is 100% banking, crypto, building exchanges, and being involved in that type of stuff. Ahmed Zen is one of the co-founders, and he's the marketing director. And he has a weekly call every single week that he does, kind of keeping people up to date with everything that's going on with the company. The CEO does one every month, by the way. Ahmed Zen is out of Dubai, and my sponsor to Aurum, person that introduced me to Aurum, is Lee O'Shea. Lee O'Shea has actually built quite a friendship with Ahmed from what I've seen. He's been to his house in Dubai. He's been to the office many times. Ahmed mentions Lee many times in a lot of his presentations and Zooms and marketing updates and stuff that he does. So and his background, I think he was the one that was in the banking industry, Morgan Stanley, if I recall. And then Gulnara and El Raziki, a couple other people with the company. I don't know too terribly much about them myself from what I've seen. I remember when I first got into this company, I was actually doing some due diligence, and I put all of these guys' names into ChatGPT, and I kind of said, hey, and I kind of gave a bit of the write-up in the history of what it said, and I said, can you cross-reference and see if this is legit, if these guys are the real deal? And ChatGPT basically came back and they said they are 100% legit, every single one of them, one by one. And it cross-referenced all of their Facebook, their LinkedIn, their media appearances, their all sorts of things, and everything matched up 100%. Everything that you read on here is 100% truth. So I thought that was kind of cool. It was the first time I'd ever used Chat GPT to do kind of a due diligence and checking in on things like that. These numbers are a little bit old. They just announced this last weekend that they're over 50 million in trading volume. Still with the 5 products. They have an arbitrage bot also. I've never used it. Most people that I know haven't used it. I think they're up to 15,000 members now. So this company is still young. 15,000 members is not many people. I'll talk about their products here a little bit later. XAI bot. So this is really, give me a quick second here. XAI bot is kind of their flagship. This is the one that you kind of come into. Sorry, this is things in the way there. When you first get into the company, this is the one I kind of recommend everybody gets into, because this is the one that has the highest payment. It's been around the longest. It has the most results, proven results, the biggest, longest track history. It pays on average 17.5% per month, every single month. It is a crypto trading bot. It trades multiple pairs. You have the ability to auto compound or withdraw every day. It's completely up to you. So if you have the auto compound on every day, it'll just however much you earned, put it back into trading. If you have the auto compound off, it'll put it into your main balance and you can withdraw it. It's up to you. The breakout on this, the 17.5%. So the 17.5% is the total amount that their trading makes on average. Depending on how much you put in, you contribute to trading, depends on how much you're going to earn. So if you only put in between $100 and $249, you would get 60% of that 17.5, and 40% would go to the company. On average, that works out to about 10.49%. If you go all the way to the very last one, the ultimate, you can see once you hit over 50,000, now you earn 95% share and the company only gets a 5% share. So every step along the way, obviously, is a big step up. This is not packages. You don't leave one package and go into another package or anything like that. If you have $249 trading today and you earn $2 and you go up to $251, you instantly make the jump up to earning more. There is no buying a package. There's no nothing like that. So you can start anywhere you want and work your way up. Really cool. I'm going to, just my honest opinion from what I've seen, I got in kind of a little bit lower, kind of closer than the 250, and then I did ramp up and I got up over the 1,000. And, getting in for 100, there's people that need to get in for 100. I understand that. And if that's all you've got to start with, I 100% recommend it. But one thing I've noticed is that at $100, you're making pennies a day. It doesn't feel like you're earning. It doesn't feel like your money's growing. It's once you kind of get up to the higher levels, I've really noticed just the different feel. Right now, it's like, if you get up to the 2,500, I kind of figure that's about the sweet spot. That's when you start earning like 10, 20 bucks a day. You know what I mean? You start really noticing the growth and you can look at it every day and kind of go, okay, oh yeah, it's going up. What's going up, right? Obviously it continues even more as you go up from there, but 2,500, in my opinion, is really kind of at that sweet spot. You're getting a higher percentage, that 75%, and you start to see the difference.
Hey, Ryan.
Yep.
In the blue boxes there in the bottom, it has like in the first box, 5,000 USDT, 99.99. Is that the maximum that they'll pay you in that box, or
No,
what does that mean?
no, that just means how much you've contributed. So if you currently have $5,000 trading, you earn 80% client share The company earns 20% of that 17.5% approximate, which means you would
Oh,
earn about 13.99% monthly.
okay, so there's 8 different boxes. I was thinking there was 4.
Oh, yeah, there's 8. Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. Okay.
So the money that you auto reinvest, the earnings from that count as far as your contribution?
Yes. So if
Yes.
you basically, like I said, if you had 249 trading today, you earn $2, you're up to $251, you're just automatically are up to this one. And they seem to you know, a lot of times if you hit triggers, it seems like in other places, not necessarily this for sure, but they usually pay you the higher. You know, they're a really good company that way. You know, for example, if somebody joins your team and it puts you over a level, they'll give you the next level for that entire commission or affiliate commission and stuff like that. So I wouldn't doubt if they ended up doing something similar here, where if you were at 249.98 and you earned money that day that took you over 250, they probably paid you the higher amount.
Yeah.
Just seems to be the way they work. One thing I didn't say before I talked about this XAI bot is to get access to Aurum, everything in Aurum, all crypto trading bots, the Visa card, everything, it's $19.99 annual charge, $20 annually. Okay. And then the minimum deposit for trading in this XAI bot is 100. So the very minimum you could start with is $120. This is basically just the same chart and shown a different way. So if you have the compounding turned on, this example is basically if you had $10,000, you would be at 14.87% because you would be making, what is it, 75, 80, 85%? I think it's the 85%. So you'd be making 1487 next month. Now you're making 1708 next month, 1962 next month, on and on and on. And you can see that you will have earned 42,781 plus the 10,000 you started with for a total of 52,781 after 1 month. Yeah, 85% share.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, a couple of things with the XAI bot. And like I say, this is kind of their flagship. This is the one that I recommend to everybody. This is where you really want to get started. Projected return 17.5%. It is 100% trading. I've seen months higher, I've seen months lower. But it always ends up being pretty close to that range. As soon as you put your money in, you will be actively trading within 12 to 24 hours, and you'll be earning. Profits accrued 7 days a week, so you get paid the same time every single day, 7 days a week. For us in mountain time, we get paid at noonish. It usually starts at around noon. I think I get paid at 12:20. And yeah, so people that were in earlier get paid a little bit earlier, but it starts around that time. The accumulated profits. So basically, if you were not compounding and you withdrew or you put the money into your main balance and you made the decision that you wanted to withdraw that money, they say they pretty much guarantee that you'll receive that money within 48 hours. In reality, what you actually see is I don't think I've heard of a single person over 24 hours yet. And I don't know if I've heard of anything actually over 16 hours yet. In fact, when Lee withdraws quite regularly, he says on average a couple hours. So whenever he hits withdraw, he receives his money within 2 hours in most cases. But if anybody ever asks you and they say, what can I expect? It's always 48 hours. So the XAI bot, it's the only bot where they do have a kind of a lock-in period, I'm going to call it. And this is partially why they can pay such a higher percent. So it has a 1 year, and it's not a full lock-in period. I'll talk a little bit more about it, but I'll call it a lock-in period. So from the date that you joined, if you joined on January 1st, if you withdrew that principal, only the principal, not your earnings, the principal, within 365 days, you would pay a 35% withdrawal fee. When you hit day 366, there is 0 withdrawal fee, okay? So the reason why they have this is because the moment you put money into the platform, it does pay referrals. So because it pays out the referrals instantly, if they allowed you to withdraw your money instantly, they would be out 35% because they had already paid out the referrals, okay? So
Are you just talking about your seed money, or are you talking about commissions too?
just your seed
Yeah.
money. Yeah. So any money that you deposit now, that can be compounded money if you're depositing. Every single deposit is considered a new 365-day term. So if you put in $1,000 on January 1st and you earned $1 on January 2 and you compounded that, that would now be available January 3 the next year or whatever, right? Or January 2, whichever. But now here's something to think about. This is a 35% withdrawal fee because it pays out the referrals. So they can't allow you to take out all of the money without losing money. But if you put your money in and you compounded it for, say, 2 to 3 months at the percentage earnings that we make, you will have made more than the 35%. So if for some reason something came up in your life where you said, I put in $1,000, I need to get my money back out. If it was in 2 to 3 months, you would get all your money back out, even with the withdrawal fee, right? There would be no issues. So just think about it that way. If you had to pull it out the very next day because something happened, that's the one scenario where you're actually going to be out money, right? But it's because of this lockup period, because of how this works, that they do pay such a higher percent. So I'll be sharing some of the other bots here shortly, and they pay much lower, but they have full flexibility to withdraw at any time. And when you do withdraw, if you do want to withdraw your capital, your initial capital, there's only certain days of the month they allow it, 1st, 10th, and the 20th of each month. And it does take a little bit longer to receive your money. You receive it within 7 working days, just because it is in active trading. To get it out takes time. Okay. Any questions on this? This one's sometimes a little bit confusing, but I think I took a little bit extra time this time.
Very clear.
Okay. So here is the NeoBank. So this is, this is kind of your home for everything. So I have, actually, I'm going to show it to you really quick, just because I can. Oh. Here's an example of the NeoBank. So you can kind of see, this is in Telegram right now. You can kind of see different things. That shows my trading bot profits, shows my holdings. This is money that is not currently trading. I can go in here. I can get my credit card. Here's where you can activate. I can pay the money and buy this high-end card. This is one with no KYC. I'll go into that a little bit later, but I can buy the card. I can go in here. I can see, how many partners I have. I can see, I can share my code. I can do a few different things here. And here's where my trading bots are. And I can see every one of my trading bots. This Bitcoin trading bot has been live for 1 day. I've made 0.19%. BNB, I've made 0.35%, 0.22, 0.4, 0.27, 0.38. So those are the trading bots that I currently have going. This is called the Zeus bot. I'll go into that a little bit more here in a bit. But this is the Aurum NeoBank. So this is the one that is also currently on Telegram, but they are building the actual app in the App Store, and they are currently in the testing phase. So yeah, this basically says what I just shared. You can actually see live trading results. I could show you that too, where you can actually click on it and, Doge bot. I did a trade here. I entered at that price, got out at that price. I made a little bit of profit. I can click on this, the okx.com trade. I can look at the timestamps and I can kind of go, okay, yeah, I made that trade. Because it's not connected to an account. When I click on this, you're not logged in, you can't see the actual trades on there. All you can kind of do is tell by the timestamp. So, and you can kind of see that things line up.
So that's if you want to do manual trades on your own.
No, there's no way of doing manual trades on your own. Not on this one. Once they get the exchange up and running, there probably is. What else? Yeah, you manage your cards here, you manage your balances. This is where you would load your card to. So if you did have an actual live Visa debit card, you can load the card right there.
I guess I'm a little confused because you said you did a couple of trades on there, and then you said you can't do trades on your own. So
no, this is a trading bot. This is just a live trading bot right now. You can see my Bitcoin it has done 6 trades in the last 24 hours.
So the bot's doing the trading, not you. Okay.
Yeah. And 6 of them were profitable. None were negative. And my earnings right there, yeah, 0.19%. XAI Pro, I won't talk about this one too much, but this is kind of the flip side of the XAI. So same idea. XAI Pro is the flexible liquid version where I can put money in, trade it on the XAI Pro, pull my money out the next day if I want. You know what I mean? Add more, take some out, put some here. You know what I mean? It's fully flexible. I can turn it on, turn it off, whatever I want to do. It pays a lot less. So, if your intent is to earn more and you're, just going to let it ride, then this isn't the one you want to use. This is where you might say, hey, I've got $500 that I'm going to be paying in 2 weeks to my buddy, and I'm just going to let it work for 2 weeks, and then I'll pull out and pay him his 500 and I'll have $20 in my pocket. You know what I mean? Like that type of an idea. So yeah, no lockup of principal. It says earn up to 10% monthly. I think it's probably a little bit less. I think it's probably more like 7% that they pay. Minimum $100 entry. For the XAI Pro, it's kind of a special bot where it's you have to be invested in the XAI bot before you can enter into the XAI Pro. If you have $1,000 trading in the XAI bot, you can put up to $1,000 in the XAI Pro. You cannot put more in the Pro than you have in your normal XAI bot. I think I just covered all that. So Zeus bot was the one that I just kind of showed you. Zeus bot, the only big difference is it's different cryptos. So if you're someone like me where I like Bitcoin, I don't want to sell my Bitcoin to join Aurum. I want my Bitcoin to grow. You can trade your Bitcoin. If you want Ethereum, you can trade your Ethereum, right? I started with 0.7 of an Ethereum. I'm up to 1.15 already. I think I joined this one in May or June. So it grows nicely. And with the value of Ethereum going up, that's awesome, right? So they do have Bitcoin, BNB, Ethereum, Pepe, and Doge right now. The Litecoin one that you had seen on my bot is actually the Pro bot. That's the Pro right there. They are bringing out more bots. The rumors are that Solana might be next, and they've talked about XRP also. But they've talked about a lot of other ones too, like AVAX, and so just a matter of time. Doge is the newest one. It only came out in about July. They do earn a little bit different. Bitcoin and Ethereum are a little bit smaller. It says up to 10%. I've seen them, even be as low as 5% in a month. And BNB has been lower, but lately it's really been good. I think it's just been a little bit more volatile lately. So BNB's been really good lately. Doge and Pepe, first month in Pepe, I think I earned 20%. So, so it's quite a bit more. They don't really have withdrawal fee. Like they got a small withdrawal fee. That's just more for network fees. You don't have to pay the network fees yourself. You're paying the withdrawal fee and they pay the network fees. But yeah, you can get in and out. It's 100% Web3 type of crypto, adding, depositing and withdrawing. It's pretty much instant, just like you would anything else, any other wallet. So the Aurum card, so they're still, I think they're out of the beta testing right now, and it's finally kind of going live here. They're supposed to be making some changes. I've been waiting to get it here in Canada. I'm going to get it here right away as soon as it's actually available. They kind of made it available, and then they didn't have Canada as an option, so now they're back to the drawing board and they're changing some things up, I'm hearing, and should be soon. So I don't know. I've been waiting for about a week or two here, thinking that it's going to launch any day. So I'm getting excited. I kind of want it. But they have multiple cards. They got they all cost money. So, and it's a one-time fee. The cheapest one is $33 one-time fee. The most expensive one is $249 one-time fee. When you go to the higher end one, the $249 one, it is a no KYC to get the card. So you do not need to do KYC. You have to give them an address. You know what I mean? So you still have to give them some information. You have to give them a phone number, but you don't do KYC. The cool part is you can see this high limits down here, $100 USDT a month. You can trade, or you can load and withdraw.
100,000.
Spend, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy. Like 100 grand a month.
Where's NeoBank?
Well, NeoBank is just the name of their banking solution.
So it's in Dubai?
Good question. I guess it would be it's kind of more web-based, right? So I guess it doesn't have a physical location of the NeoBank. So, but yeah, it would be based out of Dubai for sure, 100%. They are the CEO. I'm going to tell you this story. I just watched this yesterday. The CEO, in his presentation to all the people in Phuket last weekend, he talked about just everything. He gave a 1 hour presentation and he talked about everything. And one of the things he talked about is, the cards and compliance and doing everything, proper and stuff like that. And he kind of gave this story. He goes, I worked at Binance. The CEO, Xi Jinping, got thrown in jail. He goes, I don't want to get thrown in jail. I'm doing everything by the book. Everything's going to be 100% compliant. I can guarantee you that. So, he goes, but the funny thing about compliance is how it kind of changes and evolves, and they're slow. So sometimes you kind of do one thing and then you have to shift a little bit. But but he says, yeah, it's all of this stuff is going to be above board. Like this is when I say it's a no KYC card, this isn't some thing that he's doing, skirting the rules, right? So all these things are actually legit, legal, however they do it, right? It does connect to your Apple Pay or Google Pay. From what I heard, I think Apple Pay is MasterCard, Google Pay is Visa. So depending on what you have will depend on what card you get to. So we kind of talked about all of these. This is the whole ecosystem, the XAI bot. Like I said, their flagship product, their NeoBank, which is kind of, what they want to be their next flagship product. Between that and the Aurum cards, the XAI Pro bot, the Zeus AI bot, and then over here, they got other things. Some of these are still coming. Aurum token is live. Flash loans are live. This is the arbitrage trading that I haven't done. Network, exchange, here's the exchange, and they will have staking live when the exchange goes live, from what I understand. So, and it's pretty attractive staking returns if you're somebody that likes to stake. Everything, all of this is accessible for $19.99 a year. So that's basically it for the product. From there, I can go into the partnership and the commission structure and stuff like that if you're interested in building teams. Everybody want to hear that too?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. So there's a few different ways to make money here. In general, whenever anybody does a deposit, you get a referral bonus. If you have a team, that can translate through the team. So they use what's called, what I call anyways, I don't know if it's properly called this, a differential bonus, whereas they, every penny that goes in, it pays 18.5%. Depending on what level you are on will determine how much you get paid. So if you're only on level 1 and you bring somebody in, you're going to make 3%. The other 15.5% goes up the line. So if the person above is making 9%, 6%, the differential from 3 to 9, he will earn 6%. The next person above him is, let's say, 18.5. Difference between 18.5 and 9 is 9.5. He will earn 9.5%. Does that make sense? That's a little bit hard to understand sometimes without drawing it out. But at the end of the day, depending on your level, which is team volume, determines your level. That will determine how much you earn. There's some other slides here that'll help describe that a little bit better as we go along. So that's direct sales. So for example, Bob joins me, comes in, puts in $1,000. I am currently at a 7% level. I would earn 7% of that $1,000, which is $70. And the rest would go up to my upline and other people. Bob puts his earnings on compound, and let's say he earns $20 the first day. He redeposits that $20. I make 7% of that $20. So every single day, if he is auto compounding, I am earning a little bit every single day. So when you have one person doing that, awesome. When you have 100 people doing that, more awesome. Right? And as you get to higher levels and those percentages get higher, you could be earning 3% from one level, 5% from another leg and a different level, 7% from one leg and a different level. You know what I mean? So it's different all the time, but it's all done automatically. We don't have to worry about it. It just shows up in our Telegram app if we have our notifications turned on. So team sales, is basically the same as direct sales. The only difference is now we're talking depth, right? So if somebody joins on your level 2, your level 3, your level 4, if it passes up to you, you earn something. If it doesn't pass up to you, if the person below takes it all away, or you might not earn anything. So it's it all depends on team volume. I'll show you a little bit more about that here in a bit. So as you grow through these, they call them legacy levels. So that's growing through the different tiers and the different team volume tiers. These legacy levels, you actually get a bonus at each one that you unlock, and they're quite good. Actually, it's some pretty impressive bonuses. You know, as soon as you rank up to the first one, or I guess rank 2, I guess they would call it, it's $100 US. The next one's $500 US. The next one's $1,000 US. It goes all the way up to $3 million US at the highest level when you hit it. That's an instant earning in your wallet. Bang. The second you hit it. So profit share is exactly what it sounds like. So now Bob put in $1,000. He earned $20 that day as my second line person, or my first line person, sorry. That $20 that he earned, I would earn a profit share of up to 30%. Follows the same general idea. It's a different percentage base than the 18.5%, but it follows the exact same structure. If you are on level 2, on level 3, on level 4, it determines on how much you earn. The rest gets passed up to the next above you type of thing. But you can earn up to 30% on that. So the important thing here is profit share. Also, you earn on the Zeus bot, the Zeus AI bot, and the XAI bot, Pro bot. On the direct sales and team sales, you do not, or even the extra bonus, you do not get any benefit from the Zeus or XAI Pro. You only get a profit share. And then the last thing is just shareholder bonus. As you rank up to really high levels, you get to earn a share of the entire company profit. And this entire company has a lot of profit. They only earn 30% of their entire volume is through the affiliate network marketing side. The other 70% is through big funds, big family offices, well-to-do people type of thing that are not taking part in the MLM side. This is just a little bit of a representation of what I just said. You know, XAI bot, you get the direct sales, the team sales, the legacy volume, the profit share, the compounding. XAI Pro and Zeus bot, you don't get any of that except for the profit share. Flash loan, like I said, I don't even know anybody that's using this. API, I don't know anybody that's using this. Now, here is something that is really cool. I'm going to take some time on this one. If Bob, that just joined under me, decided to buy an Aurum card, and he bought that $249 card, that is a direct sale, and I earn profit on that, depending on my legacy level from that $249. It does the same idea, team sales. So the rest it'll pay up all the way up to the 18.5%. And you do get credit for that volume when people buy cards to take you to the next level, for example, to rank up. But on profit share, every single time they spend on that card, you earn a little bit. So think about that for a second. Imagine you have 100 people on your team that have a card and are using it every day buying stuff. Every transaction they make, you get a little tiny piece of the transaction fee. It's not big. This isn't going to be earth-shattering, but you get a little piece. Instead of all the money going to them or to Visa or to MasterCard, you get a little piece of it. You get, and you can see in here the transaction fees, transaction fee share income from structures usage, top-ups, and spending. So anytime they top up their card, you get a little bit. Anytime they spend, you get a little bit.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
That is wild.
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
totally compliant on all that, correct?
Yeah.
Because I was in a group like that offered that to me, and they got put out of business because they did not meet all the compliance. There's a lot of compliance that you need to pass muster with.
Yeah, you know, and that's what's cool is a lot of the people involved with Aurum are ex-bankers. When I said that they went from, hey, we're gonna have a card to, hey, we've got a card in like 1 month. It wasn't like hey, we're gonna feel it out and we're gonna see what we can do. It was that quick. They knew what they were doing. They obviously knew the players, they knew the people. But yeah, that's what they have built here. And like I said, the CEO, he's just like, I am not messing around with compliance. When my boss got hauled to jail for not being compliant, I am not messing around, right? So you know that they're not pushing the buttons here. They've obviously found a way to do it. And this is the last 2 pages here, just the ranks. So here's something I really want, especially people that are involved. I really want you guys to understand this one. When you start day one, you start as a Nova. There's no qualifications. You will make 3% off of anybody you bring on board that joins your team. You don't get any other bonuses at all. In fact, you do not even get profit share. So if they're earning money, you are not earning money. You are only earning when they put money back in. So to say that again, when they earn and they auto compound and that gets put in again, you're making a 3% off of that. But you are not making money off of the money they earned. It is so critical to get to Voyager level as fast as you can. And to do that, you need team volume of 300 legacy volume, which equates to 7,500 US dollars in team dollars added to XAI Pro or to XAI. Once you do that, now you're earning 5%. So number one, you're earning more on your first line. But now if you have people on your first line that are 3% and they bring on somebody on your second line, now you're making 2% there. You'll get $100, that's your personal contribution minimum. $100 you will earn, and now you make the 5% profit share. I can tell you that the day that I went from Nova to Voyager, my earnings went up 3-4x the next day. It was that drastic of a change because now I was earning from depth and now I was earning this profit share. And this profit share is as much or more than this usually works out to be. So very, very, very critical. There was a video that was shared of a person. What a lot of people do is they'll join, put in $1,000 for themselves and then sign up their spouse for $7,500, right? And then boom, they've hit that level. They're earning off of both of those, obviously. You earn a commission on that. You'll earn a 5% commission off that. So you'll earn a good chunk that you can then redeposit or withdraw or whatever you want to do. But now you've unlocked these levels, right? I kind of did something similar to that. And I had put in $5,000 for my spouse, and that's now up to 10,000 already. So, and that was in June. And then as you rank up, obviously just more and more and more of the same. 10,000, that's $25,000, 7%. This is where I am currently. I'm earning 7%. I received a $500, you know, the 100 the first time and then 500 the second time. And on profit share, I'm making 7.5. Hopefully by tomorrow, I will be at this level. I am so close. It's ridiculous. And I'll be going up to the 9%. So I'll be getting this and getting more there. Lee, my sponsor, he is, I think he's Elite or Magnate. I don't know which one he is, but he's one of these ones for sure. Could be the Mythos. No, I don't think he's Mythos yet. So you start
You
doing
said
some math
he's
on that.
withdrawing,
What's
you
that?
said he's withdrawing like $1,000 a day?
Well, he's making 2,500 a day, every day, like clockwork. And he is loading it onto his Visa card regularly. He uses it for everything. He loads it onto that debit card, and it is loaded within 20 minutes every time. He also does a lot of withdrawals also, and his withdrawals are super fast. And he just got his first shareholder bonus. It was actually only for 1 month. They're going to do it quarterly going forward. And I think he made like about $2,000. So nothing earth shattering, but he gets that every single quarter now. So just gives you an idea of, you know, what is possible. And it's pretty exciting listening to the things he's got going on and where he's at. He's already kind of hit that point where he's just like letting his team grow organically. And he's been out, well, he's in Thailand right now because he was just at the event. And he's still there. He stayed a little bit longer. And he's just enjoying life right now. He's been through all the same ups and downs that all of us have been through. You know, some of these companies that, you know, he jumped into and he brought a whole bunch of people into, and then they disappeared. And he had the same struggles that, you know, that everybody's had, you know, because people are just getting beat down. You know, they just feel like they can't win. And I tell you, it's one of those things that I understand. I was there too. Everybody's been there, and I just refuse to give up. I refuse to accept that there is no way of making this work and that I'm going to work for the rest of my life. I just refuse. So I'm stubborn that way. And that's why I'm happy to keep trying things. And every once in a while we come across a gem, and I tell you, man, this one's a gem. This one's an absolute gem. You know, I tell people, and I'm sure every single person's already heard this, so I'm just repeating myself, but there's 3 things you got to worry about when you enter one of these types of businesses, right? Number 1, they're a scam. And this one is, there's 0 chance they're a scam, right? I'm not even kind of concerned about that. Number 2, they have a bad business model that, you know, maybe different markets, it's not going to work. These guys are making money hand over fist. It's ridiculous. You know, they're making money off of our trading because they get a share. They're going to be making money off of ATMs. They're going to be making money off of the exchange and the exchange rates. They're going to be like, it's ridiculous. And we're only a small portion of this. They have institutional type investors and big money investors. Then number 3, the wild card, right? Regulatory. So who knows what's going to happen with regulatory. I know things are sure changing in the States, so you guys are really lucky. Canada is still kind of behind on that, but as of right now, everybody can join. Some people have to use a VPN, some people don't, but they are, like I said, they're keeping it compliant. So, and there is no KYC. There isn't anything like that. So any questions?
So the people in the States have to use a VPN?
Yeah. Canada too.
One of the what?
Canada too.
Canada too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? My honest opinion of that is it's a good thing. Because it doesn't put up that flag that, you know, it doesn't even show the ability for Canadians or Americans to be able to do it. You can't choose that country when you join. You have to choose a different country. And when it's flagged like that, that you don't, or when it's not flagged like that, that Canadians and Americans are joining because you can't even see it in the drop-down menu, it just makes it easier.
What country are you signed up under?
Thailand. Well, yeah, I think I'm Thailand. Yeah. Which is where my wife's from anyway, so.
Mhm. Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna